Disabled by Wilfred Owen. Wilfred Owen's Disabled is a moving poem that explores the human cost of war. It focuses on one Scottish soldier who represents all those who fought and were physically affected and emotionally abandoned during the First World War. Owen uses his own experiences of fighting on the Western Front to challenge the romantic, patriotic ideas of heroism that persuaded many young men to fight, and to highlight the plight of the wounded and disabled of war. The poem opens with a young soldier who sits alone in a wheelchair at dusk. He listens to the distant sounds of boys playing in the park, voices that remind him of the life, energy, and innocence he's lost. In the second stanza, he remembers how lively the town used to be before the war, full of lights and flirting. He once felt attractive and part of that world, but now he's thrown away his knees and feels rejected by women who avoid him. The speaker recalls the next stanza how handsome and full of colour he used to be. Now that colour and life have drained from him. The contrast between his past and present underlies the physical and emotional cost of war. The end of the stanza indicates that he joined out of vanity and to look heroic. This narcissistic theme is continued in the fourth stanza, where we learn of further shallow reasons for the soldiers joining up, to please girls and impress others. He didn't understand what war really meant, imagining it as another game like football. But when he returned home, the cheering was gone. People pity him, but didn't truly care. The final stanza paints a bleak future for the soldier, one spent in institutions controlled by others. The poem ends with his loneliness and despair as he waits for someone to help him to bed, or perhaps to end his suffering. The poem's structure reflects this contrast between past and present. The opening and closing stanzas bring the poem full circle, portraying the soldier's present life, motionless, cold, and isolated, while the middle stanzas flash back to his vibrant youth and confident past. This movement between then and now emphasizes how completely war has transformed him. Owen uses colour imagery to highlight this change. Before the war, life was full of light and brightness. Glow lamps budded in the light blue trees. The image suggests warmth, vitality, and the promise of youth. Now, everything is drained of colour and feeling grey, ghastly and cold. His physical injuries mirror the emotional greyness of his life, showing how war has literally and symbolically drained him of life and hope. Similarly, the tone shifts between extremes. The early memories are energetic and confident, describing flirtatious girls and the excitement of sport, but these images of youth and pride are undercut by bitter irony. When Owen writes that the soldier threw away his knees, the phrase sounds casual, but it hides a terrible reality. He has lost his legs, and with them his freedom and sense of masculine self. The line captures Owen's anger at how lightly society encouraged men to risk everything. Owen's use of contrast is central to his anti-war message. Before the war, the boy thought of smart salutes and drums and cheers. After the war, he receives no real glory, only pity and neglect. The solemn man who brought him fruits represents the emptiness of official gratitude. The public has moved on, and the soldier is left to live out his sick years in institutions. There's also a powerful sense of loss of identity and masculinity. Once admired for his good looks and athleticism, the soldier now feels dehumanized. Women look at him like some queer disease. Owen demonstrates that war doesn't just destroy bodies, but also the sense of belonging and self-worth that define a person. The poem's final lines are haunting. The repeated questions reveal his total dependence and loneliness. The they could be nurses, but the word also suggests something deeper, perhaps a longing for death or for the comfort that will never arrive. Overall, Owen's Disabled is not only about one soldier's suffering, but about a society's failure to care for those it sent to war. Through vivid contrast, powerful imagery, and a tone of quiet bitterness, Owen exposes the brutal reality behind the glorified image of war. The poem leaves readers with a strong sense of waste, of youth, promise, and life itself. Such weight in Owen's poem is also present in Hardy's Drummer's Hodge, which highlights the lack of care or respect for the ordinary soldier. Both poems make the reader feel sympathy for the soldier's suffering rather than the supposed glory of war. Kamikaze by Beatrice Garland, like Disable, demonstrates how war can ruin a person's life without killing them. These two poems also share similar themes of loss, isolation, and shame, conveying how war's effects are not only physical but also emotional and social.